Hi, everyone. This is Ray Selvadurai, Director of Coaching for Manhattan Soccer Club. Welcome back to Tactical Thursday. This week, we're going to focus on the attacking phase. If you remember the phase of the field, the attacking phase is the incision phase, and also with some really good execution, hopefully we can finish and score some goals in possession. Remember, last week we worked on building from the back. So that's the back end of the field. This is the front end of the field, the book end. So let's get into our lecture. The next few slides will provide a great tactical review from what we did last week. Again, I want to give credit where credit is due. You see the video in the hyperlink. Again, a great job by Coach Jolly in England putting this together. It's going to be the basis for a lot of our lecture when we talk about the global concepts or those phases that are taught throughout the world, every country, about the game, every professional academy, every youth academy. So Coach Jolly, great job. Thanks again for putting this together. And again, we're going to review what we call the MSC way, which is our game plan here for training sessions and for matches, which we constantly fine tune, that we reassess match play and player performance in order for us to be successful in these global concepts and outlook in terms of our tactical success. So again, through the age groups, U8 through U12, small-sided situations, 7v7, 9v9, really laying the basic foundation of tactics there. U13, U14, full-sided soccer for the first time, 11 versus 11, larger fields, a lot of physical disparity between the kids. So I call these the intermediate ages. It's really the learning ages. There's going to be some mistakes along the way, but we take a patient view here at MSC because we know these are the ages where there's going to be some success, some errors, and hopefully we can start to get some really good retention moving on to U15 through 19, which is those advanced stages that we spoke about, where we expect our players to have a really good concept of the global phases that are taught throughout the world, and also our game plan, the MSC way that we want to execute in training and matches in order to be successful. Again, a little review from last week. As you see the diagram here, it's a tactical framework or the global concepts or phases of the field that I mentioned that's taught throughout the world. As you see, last week we worked on the build-up, which is to the right is the defensive end of the field, talking about in possession. We're going to skip the midfield phase. We're going to work on that for next week for Tactical Thursday, which is that consolidation. We're going to jump to the other end or the book end, which is the incision or finishing phase to the left, where we're going to goal. We're looking to try to create scoring opportunities that way, and also with some really good execution, we're going to work on finishing and getting some goals that way as well. So again, great framework here. Again, the global concepts, know all four. And again, for review from last week, this slide highlights those 5 moments that the game is played in the 4 global concept phases of the field, which is that build-up, consolidation, incision, and finish phases. This week, we're focusing on the attacking part, which is the incision, and the finishing phase of the field. So how we train our players is that we want them to be prepared in these 5 moments in those 4 global phases that we talked about. So the first one is in possession. Last week, we talked about building out of the back in possession. This week, we'll talk about attacking in that incision phase and that finishing phase in possession when our team has the ball, irrespective of position. So there's going to be different positions in different phases of the field. So if you are an outside back and now you're in the attacking end of the field, you need to know what to do when our team is in possession. Second, out of possession or when we defend. Okay, other team has the ball, able to hold it against us. That's going to happen when we're playing against a quality opponent. We need to know what to do in each phase of the field when we're out of possession. Again, as a review, 3 and 4, winning the ball and losing the ball. Those are those transition moments in a game. To me, that's what separates teams that win championships. How good they are when they lose the ball, when they go from offense to defense, and when they win the ball, going from defense to offense. The quality of their first pass, how quickly they can get out, how quickly they can react to get back on defense. And lastly, set pieces, the dead ball situations on both sides of the ball. Prepared when we win a set piece in our favor as a corner kick or a foul in the attacking third of the field, and how we defend, how we set up walls, okay, and how we defend against other teams that have gained an advantage on us by winning a set piece in their end. So again, how we train, the MSC way, how we play our matches, our training plan, our game plan. We want to train our players in these 5 moments in the 4 global phases of the field. The focus of Tactical Thursday this week is possession in the attacking phase of the field, which is that incision phase that leads up to the finishing phase that hopefully we'll be able to score some goals with some really good execution. This slide shows the goals and key aspects of the attacking phase of possession at MSC, the MSC way and how we formulate our training sessions and our game plan in order to achieve these goals. So the first thing that we need to know here is that, and it's a little bit of a review, and number one is that as our teams get into full-sided soccer at 11v11, we usually play a 1-4-3-3 or a 1-4-2-3-1. Those are attacking styles. They're just numbers. Those are organizational tools. As you know from my lectures, tactics are very fluid. Positions have different responsibilities in those 5 moments that we talked about in each phase of the field. So these are attacking styles. We throw numbers forward. We should be able to get the ball into the incision phase, which is a goal of ours, and get more opportunities to score goals with some proper execution. And these 2 styles, these 2 formations really are maximized when we're able to possess the ball. So that's the first thing that we want to do. Second, we want to build from the back, which was the topic of last year, build the ball with possession into our consolidation phase, which is that midfield. And in those moments, there could be a lot of players in that midfield area of the field. It could be a defender, it could be a central player, it could be a forward. If you're able to turn, face forward towards the goal that we're attacking, we encourage our players to play forward, to get the ball closer to goal, to create more scoring opportunities in possession. Number 3, we want to be able to achieve possession. Remember, we throw numbers forward. We squeeze the field, as we talked about from last week, so our defenders start to move upfield in order to get more numbers into the attacking third of the field. So we want to be able to achieve possession in that attacking phase, which is that incision phase. So in number 3, if we're able to get players, possession, turn, and able to look at the goal that we're attacking, that's when our attacking concepts and our attacking goals and objectives start and begin. Lastly, at number 4, in the attacking end of the field, once we're able to get possession, we want to be able to break lines. That is a term that you're going to hear me and a lot of other coaching staff say when we're in the attacking third of the field, attacking phase of the field. That means in the incision, which obviously by definition means to cut, right? We want to be able to get in between defenders, break the lines that connect defenders. If we're able to do that with success, which is what we train and we hope to execute in the game, then we're going to create greater opportunities for ourselves. We're going to get deeper into the attacking third of the field, maybe even get to the end line, which we try to tell our players to get to all the time because 1, there's no more field left. You can't be offsides. 2, we get a cross off, it's closer to goal, and we're able to get the ball at our feet with runners in the 18. Better opportunity to score when you're inside the other team's 18, or we can get a corner kick. So something very positive can happen. So we train how to break those lines, and as we move forward in this lecture, we'll show different examples of how we do that. And last, number 5, is to finish, which I've told you before in last week's lecture, is the most difficult thing to do. These are the type of patterns that we train in practice sessions that we hope to recreate, train those visuals in order for us to achieve these objectives and be successful on the field. The next series of slides are going to show a lot of the concepts, a lot of our game plan, a lot of our training strategy in order to attack in the final third, especially in this incision phase, leading up into our finishing to goal and creating scoring opportunities and hopefully getting some goals. So when does the incision phase begin? Okay. This illustration really shows a really good point in when we should be thinking about the incision phase, meaning when do we attack the other team's defenders? How can we break lines, which is one of those concepts that we talked about in our goals and objectives, in order to get in behind defenders, get closer to goal in order to create opportunities. And that's what we train at MSC, okay, is those ways to break lines, how to possess the ball and build from the back. So in this situation right here, as you see, the number 11 has the ball, which is a forward. In that incision phase of the field, it built up nicely from the back. As you see, the goalkeeper at number 1 to the right is in the back end of the field. The defenders have moved upfield. Okay, you see your center backs, your number 5 and your number 6 have moved up to half field. And even the outside backs, the number 2 and the 3, are already in the incision and almost in the finishing phase of the field. So we've thrown numbers and successfully got to this point. So where number 11 has the ball and is able to turn and face and attack the goal, that's the time we really need to try to break lines and attack the other team. Now, it could be anyone in that position that receives the ball. It doesn't have to be number 11. It could be number 10. It could be the supporting forward, number 7, number 9. It could be the 2 outside backs, 2 and 3. But that's the area that where we start to attack. That's where we need to start thinking about it and getting those numbers forward. So where 11 has it, okay, is a really good point to think about, hey, that's when we should get at the other team and thinking about the incision phase. Also, the MSC way, right, we want the ball in that area as much as we can, right? We look to possess to get in that area. If we're getting the ball in that area regularly, right, and with ease because we make good decisions on the ball, we're keeping possession, we're able to build it to this point. If we're doing that regularly, that means the game is going our way. We're able to get in some dangerous areas for us. It's going to create more opportunities to break lines, create scoring opportunities, and hopefully get some more goals. So in this slide, we get to see, again, our attacking concepts and principles and game plan and training plan come into play. Here we see opportunities to break lines. So now, if you see the number 11 that has the ball, is able to turn and face, we've done a good job of building to that point through our possession to get in this dangerous area. You'll see that his supporting players, the number 9, who's another forward, the number 7 in red, who's another forward. You have the number 2 out wide, that's an outside back, and number 3 out wide, it's an outside back. And those arrows show the type of runs that can be made now. And those runs are breaking lines. So if you see the opposing team's defenders in black, number 3, in black, number 6, number 5, and number 2, actually, their defenders are in a great position right now because they're in the back third. They're trying to defend the central area and stay nice and compact. So if this was a defending lesson, where the black players are right now, that's where we want to be. But since this is about attacking and possession, we're trying to break the lines. As you see the lines that connect 3 to 6, 6 to 5, 5 to 2, we're trying to get in behind them, okay? And that's what we train. We train those type of runs so we can make that combination play. Maybe 11 plays it to 8, who's in behind them. Maybe 11 plays it to 7, that's in behind them. Maybe 11 plays it to 3 to get in behind them, closer to goal. We like to tell people also, get closer to the end line as much as you can when you attack. Why? When you get to the end line, there's no more field to be offsides anymore. That's a key point in attacking that a lot of people don't realize. You take the ball to the end line, able to walk the end line, serve a ball from the end line, everybody's on sides at that point. And then, if you can't get a cross-off, maybe get a corner kick, which is also a positive set piece for us in that area that we'll be prepared for as well on the offensive end. So as you see, you can break lines many ways. It could be combination play between players. Also, number 11, if you want to, he can just take on number 5 and try to break a line himself on a dribble between 5 and 2, for example. And we encourage players to try to break lines on the dribble in this area too. Because what could possibly happen? Well, they break lines, they get into an 18, they score a goal. They could draw a foul that way too. I have a great phrase with attacking. If you don't take somebody on and try to beat them, you won't draw a foul. Okay? So if the player number 11 wants to, instead of combining, try to break a line himself on the dribble, a lot of positive things could happen there as well. Okay? So this is a great diagram to show what lines need to be broken. And what we train at MSC is the different ways that we can get in behind them. The next few slides are going to show a couple of ways that we train our players to break lines. Here's a really good example and one of the ways that we teach at MSC our players in the attacking third of the field when they're going from the incision phase, right? And when we say incision, I mean, just by definition, that means cutting. So we're cutting lines, breaking lines in between defenders in order to get behind them to create scoring opportunities, and then hopefully the end result with some good execution, some good finishing here. So you see the number 9 has made a run, okay, and there was a weighted pass. We call it a slipping pass that's been played. It could be done through any one of these players, the number 7, the number 11 that had the ball, right, and the number 10. It's got to be well timed so the player's not offsides, but a pass that they can run onto into space with the right amount of weight. And that's where your technical skills come into play. We talk about the wall work, the touch work, the juggling that everybody does. That's to show the amount of control or test the amount of control that you have on a ball. So those players that are better jugglers have better ball control, are going to be able to deliver that ball with the right amount of touch and the right amount of weight that a number 9 here can run onto it, breaking a line, and then hopefully with a good amount of finishing skill, which is also something that we train as well. These type of patterns, these type of visuals that they have, and he has the composure and the right amount of skill to place the ball past the goalkeeper and get a goal for us. Okay, so again, this is a great way to break lines, a slipping pass or a well-weighted pass and well-timed for some combination play that allows us to get in behind the defenders and score goals. So this is one example, slipping pass, combination play to break lines. This last slide shows another way that we teach here at MSC in the MSC way in our attacking philosophy when we're going from the incision phase, trying to break lines or split defenders either on a pass or a dribble that leads us to some scoring opportunities and again with some good execution, some finishing and some goals. So as you see now, the outside back, number 3 has the ball and has been able to break the line and get in behind the defenders. I can't stress enough that defenders 2 and number 3 outside back, those are two-way players. Those are players that have offensive capabilities. Those are players that are very good 1v1 defenders and smart players. It also shows, again, our tactical scheme. You could be an outside back and you're in the build-up phase in the back and you have a certain responsibility there. Then you move up into the midfield as we squeeze the field and you see you have certain responsibilities in keeping possession in the midfield and trying to get into that incision phase. And then the number 3, again, now is in the incision phase and into the finishing phase, into the attacking phase and then deep. So as you see where you see number 3 with the ball trying to get to the end line. Okay, no more field left to be offsides. Looking to serve the ball, and as you see, you got some runners coming in between the number 2, the number 7, also the number 9 are running in. So we would encourage that number 3 to serve a ball in, maybe around waist level, even on the ground. Right, so they can look to try to finish. So the more numbers that we get in, I would love to see that number 10 get in as well to the box, the more of a chance that we have to score goals. So this is another way that we break lines, okay, by using our outside backs, getting it out wide, and looking to serve balls into runners. So again, creating more opportunities for ourselves, but it all starts with attacking in possession and getting the ball into that incision phase. So players have to find ways, right, that we train in order to break these lines, create scoring opportunities, and then again, hopefully score goals. So again, outside back play, breaking lines on the pass, service, runners, scoring goals that way, something we do very well here at MSC. So as we get down to the end of every lecture, I'm going to stress the same concepts in terms of understanding your tactics. Be a student of the game. Don't just know what your responsibilities are for your position on the field. Know everybody's responsibility. When you know everyone's roles and responsibilities, then everybody will have a real good understanding of what we need to do tactically in order to be successful on the field. So, Ray Selvadurei's key phrase, again, our tactical goals. Individual and team match tactical success occurs when the following happens. Players are able to technically execute proper skill and technical knowledge and awareness is what we're working on in these broad strokes here. And off and on the ball in every moment, which are those 5 moments that we talked about of the game in each phase, the 4 phases of the field, or those global concept, regardless of your position. It doesn't matter what position you are because the game is fluid and you're going to find yourself in different phases of the game, but you're going to have to know and be prepared for those 5 moments. So again, those 5 moments, as you see, that equals what we do here. The MSC way, the game plan, the training plan to achieve success in each phase of the field. When you come and you train with us for an entire year, you get an understanding of this. But as we stressed before, sometimes it's a 10-year process, U8 to all the way to U19, to really understand the concepts and really grasp our game plan and our training plan in order to become successful. So we show a lot of patience with our players and tactical knowledge. So how can you speed up your learning process? Watch games on TV. We talked about this before. But don't just watch for the highlights, watch as a student of the game. So after you see this lecture on attacking principles, go out, watch your next EPL game. See if both teams are trying to execute these attacking principles, right? Get the ball, build from the back, get into the incision phase, and that's where the attack starts. Is the other teams breaking lines of the defenders successfully, getting in behind them? Are they getting deeper into the opponent's end of the field, into the attacking end of the field, so they're not offsides anymore? Are they driving the end line? Are they getting services? Are they getting possession of the ball inside the opponent's 18 with numbers to score goals? See if this is happening. See if the teams are trying to execute this. Because if you can see it at that level and you can recognize while you're playing, then you're gaining those visuals and you'll be learning your tactics as you watch. So again, watch games, be a student of the game, look for some of these attacking principles when you watch your next game. Thanks everyone for checking out my video this week on Tactical Thursday. If you have any questions regarding the lecture, email me, ray.selvadurai@manhattansc.org. You see my email right there on the screen. So again, everyone stay safe during this time. Make sure that you're keeping up all your safety precautions, making sure you're washing your hands when you come home. Focus on individual training. Make sure that you're also becoming a student of the game. Learn your tactics, right? Stay sharp. Hopefully we'll be back on the field before you know it. Hope to see everyone soon.